it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today we're going to be doing a men's birthday card using this charming Chaps Hunkydory collection, and I think it's absolutely adorable. I really like this, so I hope you're going to enjoy it too. So I've started off with a plain piece of Hunkydory Adorable Scoreable card, and I folded it in half to make an A5 card with the colour on the inside. I often do this, especially if I'm going to completely cover the outside, because it makes the inside more interesting. Then I'm taking my piece of cardstock that's part of the collection that has the pattern on, and I'm just sticking that to the front. It's much easier to do it this way, I find, than cutting it or trying to cut it to size, particularly with A5s, because it is sort of not a very easy size to cut to. So I find if you stick it down, then you can make sure once it's glued down, and you can then just cut around the edges using a pair of scissors, and it will be a perfect size. So now I'm working on my topper, and I'm taking a piece of pattern cardstock that matches in with the collection as well, and I'm trying to cut it so that I've got a piece of that pattern cardstock coming out to the left so that I can really see the design, and it basically will make my oblong topper into a square topper, and I just think that will give it a really interesting look with that kind of to the size. But in order to do that, all I'm doing is marking it with a pencil kind of by eye, and then just cutting using my trimmer, using that mark for my guide. And then all I'm going to do next is take my topper and stick that onto the piece of card that we cut, which is a great piece that matches in perfectly. Obviously that's part of the collection, and it really does work well, I think, and I just really wanted to make use of that, so I was trying to really think of a way of doing that. Then I took one of the other patterns, sort of the more plain patterned in the collection cardstocks, and this is lovely sort of peachy tone, and I just cut that so that that made a nice mat around the whole of the edge of my kind of now created square topper. And again, I'm just using my Cosmic Shimmer, and I'm sticking that down onto that piece that we just cut out. Then from the original piece that we had that was stuck onto the entire front of the card, there was a little bit left behind that had this great border which I wanted to utilise, so I cut obviously one side using the trimmer, and then the curvy side I cut by hand using some scissors, and it created this great little border which I'm going to make use of, because if you look, it's on the bottom there. And what I realised was when I actually had this peachy piece all the way around the edge, it didn't quite work, so I needed to cut the peachy edge off the bottom of my topper there, because then when I sat it down onto the actual card front, the sort of scallop part becomes the bottom of the topper, so it gets the peachy look, but if it had the peachy piece as part of the topper that we originally had, it overlapped my scalloped piece and it just didn't work. So then I've taken the other scallop bit that we cut out, and I'm just putting it along the edge there, again just to create something different, just a little interest to the look. And then again, rather than measuring it out, I've just sort of let it hang over the edge, and then I'm just cutting it to size. And there you can see what I mean about the bottom there, just fitting in perfectly without having that extra bit. Then I took a little sentiment flag from the sheet of toppers. This one actually says husband, and I thought it looked kind of cool, just flying out the back of his back like he's wearing some sort of banner, but you could attach it to the bike, you could do all sorts depending on what you had going on, but I just thought that looked kind of fun. At one point I put it on the back of his hat, but I just quite liked it on the back of his back. I just thought that worked really well. So then again, using my Cosmic Shimmer, I'm just sticking the whole topper down, and despite the fact there's so many layers there, the Cosmic Shimmer will hold it. It's a very strong glue, and it does move a little bit because it's a coated cardstock, so just sort of stick it down and then leave it, and it will eventually kind of stick properly. I find if you keep going at it, it kind of keeps moving and it's a bit of a pain. And then on the little sheet of toppers there was actually another top hat, and it was a perfect fit for the one that was on the background card here. So I took that and a bit of my glue gel and just stuck that down on his head, just to create a bit of dimension and interest. And then the next thing we did was work on the inside of the card, so I added the sentiment, happy birthday, and again I wanted to make use of this remaining part of the big piece of card that we use for the front of the card. So I took that little bike and I just cut around it and popped that on the inside, and I think that really added some nice interest to the inside of the card. And then I've got this great banner. One half I've used Cosmic Shimmer and the other half I've used my glue gel, and that's because obviously with the height of our topper, because it's got a number of layers, that side has got the Cosmic Shimmer because that's flat, but the other side, if I use Cosmic Shimmer, it would kind of dip down, so I wanted the actual sentiment to look flat, so it's not actually trying to raise it up, it's just trying to make it look even. And then the final little thing that I wanted to add was just, I felt like it wasn't quite balanced with there being so much on the right, and it really didn't need very much, I felt, just to balance it up. Using something quite a strong colour like the black, and then sort of with the larger going up to the smaller, I felt that just balanced those pearls, just balanced the card off beautifully, and that is it. And I think it shows that you can still have a bit going on with a guy's card, but it's just how you kind of do it, and I think that works really well for a guy's card. I hope you do too. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed. Do go across to the blog post if you're on YouTube to see the photos of the finished card, and of course to subscribe so you get notified of when there are videos. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and bye for now. Bye.